Hi guys, welcome back to Hairdryer Treatment, a very special show today. I've got a lot of fans talking from the perspective of different clubs, giving their views really on the coronavirus, the effects it's going to have on their team, but also the effects it's had on the league, and what the fairest thing the league can do now really to see out this season. Is it maybe playing the rest of it behind closed doors? Is it voiding the season off? I know a lot of United fans would like that, but is that really the fairest thing to do? I think we'll hold our hands up and say it's not. So this video we're going to look at different clubs, what their opinions are, what should happen next regarding the Premier League. Yeah, so have a listen and enjoy.
No football. It's not easy, especially for me, because it's my life. I live on it. I don't have much going on, and what I do enjoy is sport, and without sport I'm bored, sick. I watch Arsenal videos. I'm a big Arsenal fan. I've been doing all weekend. While there's been no football, I've been watching all the Arsenal videos. But I miss it. I do really big time. I really miss it big time. But what can you do? Our health has got to be taken it seriously. And I applaud the Premier League decision. I applaud their decision to delay it. I don't think we be too hasty yet. Let's give it 3 weeks, see where we are, and then if we have to avoid it, I think it'd be unfortunate, because to be honest with you, I think Liverpool deserve to win the title, and it would be cruel if I'm being honest on them, if they all that hard work that they've put in this season is not rewarded. But what can you do? I mean, there are solutions. One thing I would come up with, I mean, fair and square, I mean, to end the season as they're 25 points clear, is rather than void everything, is maybe bring it on to next season and tally the points up from this season onto next season, and giving them a little bit of a start next season, so they can be rewarded in that way. But I don't know. I mean, it's a very difficult one, and whatever. I know there's Karen Brady from West Ham has come on and said she wants it voided. Yeah, it's all very well when you're down near the bottom that you're looking after your assets. You're thinking you don't want to be getting relegated, do you? So yeah, of course you're going to say you want it voided, but it's not as simple as that. There's a lot of money that's going to be lost by clubs. It's a big decision to make, and it's got to be taken. How can I put it? It's going to have to looked at seriously first before making any hasty decisions. So let's get it to April the 4th, then see where we stand. If the things improving, hopefully things do get better. It looks like it's not going to, but we always live in hope. Anyway, that's my take on it. I wish everyone well. Hope to stay safe. Keep doing the things that you need to do to keep safe, and if you've got an elderly parent, or take care of them, because they're the ones that really need it at this time of the year. Take care, everyone. Love you all.
So, thank you for letting me on your channel. It's Lee Chappie here from Leicester Fan TV. You can find us on social media at Leicester Fan TV, or you can also follow me as well. Follow my personal on Twitter. I'm reaching 13,000 now at Lee_Chappie. I'm rolling. But seriously, the football isn't rolling. It's just completely dead, isn't it? Because of this coronavirus, it's just, I don't know. We're all what do we do with ourselves at the weekends? It's getting like that. In fact, I've just talked to the lads over on Leicester Fan TV on a live show on YouTube and Facebook. We do a Monday show with a few of us, and we talk bits and bobs about what's going on in the week, you know, as you do your predictions and your game just gone, your review and all that. But we've got nothing to talk about, so we're just debating on who's the greatest Leicester player to grace the shirt and all that. But the coronavirus has popped up in the discussion, and what we feel as a club we would prefer. Would we prefer it to be voided? and Liverpool not win the title, which is quite funny. If you don't like Liverpool, it's even funnier. Now, a revealing fact is Leicester City in 2017 in the Champions League run, we hit a record of £93 million profit at the end of that Champions League run. As you know, we did really well, got into the quarterfinals and in our debut Champions League. So it's a tough one, that is, isn't it? Because if the league is set as it is, the positions where we all are is finished, and that's where we go, then Champions League it is next season, and it's a good amount of money for the club again. It's good revenue. It's where you want to establish yourself as a top 6 contender, and I think Leicester are slowly becoming that team. This summer we've got a £100 million training facility in the works, which is a state-of-the-art one that no one else has got in the country. It's going to be one of the best training facilities in Europe, which is nearly built. Like I say, it's ready for the summer. I've put a video out there which costs £100 million, and selling Harry Maguire funded that. But it would be nice for a little bit more money, especially if we have got this training facility and we're in the Champions League. It would be great for next season. So I personally want the league to stay as it is and all positions stayed as it is. But a lot of fans that are obviously near to the bottom of the table don't want that. So it's going to be a tough decision by the Premier League and the FA. It's going to be a big decision. Maybe it should just be left as is and carried on once this is all blown over, and they can just resume the leagues. That's probably the best option. Resume the league, cancel the Euros, the internationals, move that to the next year, and just finish the league off as it is and jump straight into the next season with technically no break. I don't know how the players will react to that. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe have a few more added weeks off during the season. I don't know, but I would prefer the league to stay as it is, for Leicester City to go into the Champions League. Maybe I'm being a little bit selfish, but I don't really care about the bottom of the table. If they do go down, Aston Villa and stuff, then whatever. But as a Leicester fan, Champions League spot is a must. Make sure you follow us, Leicester Fan TV, and well done for the content, Soph. Keep it up, keep going. Cheers.
Everton's season has been a pretty underwhelming one. I think it's safe to say nothing to really write home about. Nothing left for us to win domestically. We weren't in the FA Cup anymore, of course. The League Cup has already been won. Weren't in Europe, and we were still in the hunt for European football. To be honest, I think we still very much could have achieved that before the season has been suspended. But we just were on the back of a horrible defeat away at Chelsea, where we played awful as well. So obviously the derby was the next game for us, and I was actually really looking forward to it. I don't usually say that with derbies, but I just think Goodison Park now, we don't know how much longer we're going to be at this stadium, and for Goodison Park, nights under the lights, a derby, you've got to embrace those and cherish the occasions. So I'm missing footy like mad. As we all are, no doubt. But in terms of Everton's actual season, you know, we were kind of just, to be honest, personally, guilty of a little bit looking forward already to the summer and what Carlo Ancelotti was going to do with his first real window. He didn't really do anything in January, and you know, in a pretty mundane season for Everton, the appointment of Carlo Ancelotti is huge and a massive positive, no doubt. So yeah, part of me was already looking to the summer and what he was going to do, which was no doubt going to be a big summer for Everton in the transfer window. As things stand, obviously they're looking at April, I think, for resuming the league. I don't know, and I think in this current circumstance, none of us can say what is going to happen. It would be no doubt harsh on the teams that were either, you know, looking likely to get promoted, win titles. I'm sure some of the teams that are battling for to stay up and not get relegated would be pretty happy. But yeah, I just don't know what's going to happen, because this pandemic that we're going through, this craziness with this corona thing, it's never happened before. I've never experienced anything like this in my lifetime. Same for most of us. So we can't call what's going to happen. the Euros have been postponed until summer 2021 now. So yeah, it's all just a bit mad. Everything feels so up in the air, whether they're gonna abandon the season and it will count as void, whether they'll, give Liverpool the title and finish the league as it was, and that'll mean, whoever is in the positions to come up, to go down, whatever. But I just don't know. I can't see how they can do that because it's an incomplete season. It's a madness. It's a new thing for all of us. So yeah, for Everton, I think we're pretty, missing football like mad, missing Everton like mad. Can't stress that enough. But yeah, it could certainly be a lot worse. But I just hope whatever happens, as much as we're missing it, the right things have got to be done for the safety and well-being of everyone concerned and the fans, and mass gatherings and all that. We don't know if all that can go ahead, so let's just hope for the best outcome in terms of everyone's health, and that's the most important thing. But yeah, let's hope football's back soon, because I'm going absolutely mad.
G's Expressions here. Shout out Harriet Kane, the hairdryer treatment, all of that. Obviously, you want to know my views on the C19, blood, the COVID-19, fam, that corona business. Me, I'm glad. I'm glad the season's on a pause, because I'm telling you, we had Man United next, and I was not ready for Martial Manhunter. I was not ready for Bruno, no, Fernandes to just come and rock man like an engagement ring. We would have got touched, fam. I told you it would have been a game like, it wouldn't have been United versus Tottenham. Would have been Tottenham, or should I say Haringey Hotspur, or Bounds Green FC, blood, NHS Hotspur versus some makeup artist, the way that we were going to get touched up, blood, on that pitch, fam. So I'm glad that we're on a break. In regard to the league, I think the fairest thing is, no, there's two things in it. So what I want is for them to just void the ting, blood. Real talk, fam. Liverpool, it never happened, fam. That unbeaten Virgin Mary FC football, come to a halt, blood. Fam? Forget about it. It never happened. I would love that, fam. I'd love them to just reset the whole thing. Hard reset. Tottenham back in the Champions League. The same Champions League we had this season. Like, we just restart the season. That is what I would like. And that's only because my team's been doing terrible. This is a season I would rather forget. Them way there, fam. But would that be fair? No, it wouldn't be fair. The fairest thing to do would probably be give Liverpool the title. Top three's already pretty much done. Have a playoff for the 4th spot. Even though Man United fans will be upset with that because you've got an easy run. Real talk, you man got an easy run. Cross-country business, but an easy run and having Ollie in charge doesn't automatically mean it's an easy run. Obviously, I know since Bruno Fernandes has come, he's turned the corner and he's been playing some sexy football, blood. I saw him touch Man City, bruv. Big up, like, Ollie gonna freestyle, shout out Saeed and them, man. Them way there. But for me, I ain't convinced. Them way there. If you, man, keep Ollie and you don't get Poch, I'm licking my lips, bruv. I'm rubbing my hands together like Birdman. I'm living La Vida, my best life, blood. Them way there. But for me, yeah, bruv, that's what I think. I think the best thing, the fairest thing would be like the relegation teams to have like a playoff, the 4th position to have like a playoff, anyone that could really make Champions League, or just finish the season, fam, because the Euros have been postponed, blood. I heard a postpone Malone, fam. The Euros have been postponed, so we may as well just play the games behind closed doors. Closed doors, fam. Play the game behind closed doors, like get them done in it, because if you can't finish the league, then for me, you can't really say, who came here. And one thing I think we can all universally agree on is if any team deserves to be relegated, it's Man City, fam. Silicone FC, more oil than Johnson's, fam. Do you know why? Blood? Because them man cheated, fam. Financial fair play rules, like, they were breached before the season even started. If them man even won anything, if they won any sort of silverware this year, it would have been void, blood. So if you want to get rid of anyone, get rid of Man City, fam. No one will miss them anyway, bro. Ask JD Sports how many Man City shirts that they sell, blood. Less of that, fam. Don't piss man off, blood. But yeah. I'm Expressions, gang business.
Buongiorno, everyone. Matty here from the Magpie Channel TV. Doesn't really matter for Newcastle United if the season finished today or finished next year, because we're mid-table. We're probably not going to go down. We're on 35 points, just a few off the magic 40-point mark. You'd imagine with the teams below us, we're pretty much safe. One win away, really. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect us. Unlike if we're in the bottom 3, just like Karen Brady for West Ham, just on the edge of the relegation zone. She's praying that it just gets void and cancelled. Of course she is. She wouldn't be saying that if she was 19th, would she? But for Newcastle, as a fan, we're not going to really get any further, and we're probably not going to go down, so it doesn't really matter. The thing for Newcastle fans is we're in the first quarter-final for about 15 years, so we need to play that. Scrap the Premier League, no one cares. Just play out the FA Cup and see what happens there. Although we do have Man City in the quarter, so same applies. Doesn't really matter. Either or, nothing changes for Newcastle. No FA Cup progress, and no change in a mid-table side. And Mike Ashley, obviously, that's all he wants. What I think should happen, it's never going to be ready for April 3rd, April 4th. Never, ever. This is only going to get a lot worse, this virus, before it gets better. So the reasonable thing to do is probably suspend it until May. Hopefully by May, we're on the up, with the government have done a bit more than telling everyone to use soap. By May, we could at least play it behind closed doors, and then at least fans would, at first fans were like, I don't want to play behind closed doors and miss the atmosphere, blah blah. We'll be crying to watch anything at that point, so come May they'll be buzzing if they can even watch behind closed doors football. But by May, hopefully, you know, that's what, 6 weeks time, we should have this potentially under control a little bit, although I'd be surprised if we didn't. You look in New York, LA, Vegas, everywhere's on lockdown now. We obviously know Italy, Spain is. So who knows what the state of this country is going to be in April, in May. I'd be very surprised if it's Premier League football, but for me, hopefully we can bring it back in May and then carry it on until July, because you can catch up with all the games in the Champions League and whatnot. That would be nice, seeing a bit of football in the sun, but because the Euros is going to be cancelled, there's no way they'll be able to travel around the 12 countries in Europe. Italy have already asked for it to be postponed. That's getting postponed until next summer. We may as well admit that now. So postpone the Euros to next year, carry on playing the Premier League over the summer. The players can then have the usual few weeks they'd have off after the Euros, because they'll be done the Premier League by July, June, July, have a few weeks off, come back in August. So hopefully that happens, because it's very boring these weekends without football.
The best thing for my club, West Ham, would be for the season to be null and void. We're obviously just outside that bottom three, and there's a possibility that we'd get relegated if the rest of the season was to be played out, particularly if it's behind closed doors as well. I wouldn't really fancy that for some reason. While the London Stadium isn't exactly buzzing with atmosphere, I do think the crowd can lift themselves for when it's important, and I think between now and the end of the season we'd have cup finals essentially. We saw the last home game against Southampton when the crowd were not at its best, but was better, and I think it helped the players. So without that, playing games behind closed doors would impact the team a little bit, I think, make it a bit more difficult, so we could get relegated. So for West Ham, voiding this season and going again from scratch next season is the best scenario. And Karen Brady's obviously played her cards and said that's what she wants as well, but just to note, she doesn't speak for West Ham fans. So while I do agree with her in principle, I don't agree with her vice chair writing such comments in the Sun of all newspapers as well. Neither does the majority of West Ham fans, just to get that out there. What do I think is the fairest? I would give Liverpool the title, because I think they're going to win the league. There's no repercussions. No one misses out if you give Liverpool the league title. I wouldn't have a relegation. It's not fair. If you were to stop the season now, it's not fair on the three bottom teams to go down. You know, Villa's got every chance of getting out of this. While I think Norwich is in trouble, I do think Bournemouth, Watford, they've all got decent chances of getting out too. I think West Ham got a decent chance of getting out. So you couldn't pick three teams to go down. I don't like the idea of this 22 team league next season, because if you take West Brom and Leeds up, the likes of Brentford could really make a strong case that they could catch one of those two sides. So who do you pick? There's repercussions then. I think the fairest way is to think about how we can do this with minimal teams missing out. So giving the title to Liverpool, like I said, I don't think anyone misses out. But if you start relegating teams, three teams are missing out. And when you then take three teams up, there's teams in the lower league, the Championship for this instance, they're missing out as well. Brentford might miss out. Nottingham Forest might miss out. These teams are in good nick. They'll fancy their chances at coming up. So I think it is null and void, unfortunately. Playing the season behind closed doors, I don't really like that idea. I think the fans should be there. What's best isn't always what's right. And I think voiding the season's best, but doesn't mean it's necessarily right. There's going to be winners and losers regardless of what they choose to do. But for me, as a West Ham fan, I'd like it to be null and void. But can understand why a lot of teams wouldn't really fancy that, particularly if you're a Wolves or Sheffield United or a Leicester fan. That's tough going.
So as a Manchester United fan, I'd actually be really upset not to be able to finish the season. I think where we were at, the football that we were playing, the performances that we were putting in, I actually believe that we would have pushed further. I think we would have finished top 4. And I'd like to be able to have that opportunity to gain those places. I think it is a risk because we could drop down the league, but for me really the only way is up to Manchester United. We had something to play for across 3 competitions, with the FA Cup and the Europa League as well. So yeah, I'd definitely like to see us being able to have the opportunity to finish the season out properly and perhaps win a trophy as well. With the FA Cup, great chance. Europa League, I think we've got a great chance. And the Premier League, like I said, I believe the only way was up. The performance that we were playing, we'd get top 4.
Hi guys, Douglas here from the Dugout Football Channel, giving you the Liverpool perspective of things during the coronavirus outbreak. I think the Premier League made the right decision to actually suspend the season. There was no way that we were going to be able to continue the season, especially with this virus that's been going through and going through the UK. And yeah, the safety of everyone is paramount, and that's the one thing I'll say is that they've made the right decision due to that, because they needed to do it. And I think it's the right decision because, like you say, football behind closed doors. Yes, I mean you could do it, but it would feel very, very weird as well. But yeah, they made the right decision. I think if the season was to be null and void, like scrapped, I would totally understand it and I would accept it, because Jurgen Klopp came out and said that if it was a choice between football and a patient's health, then there's no way to about it. Is that the patient's health would come first. So yeah, football does take a back step when it comes to this virus, and I have to admit, being obviously a Liverpool fan, obviously being top of the table, obviously waiting for our first title in 30 years, it has been a big wait. But if that way was to go on, then obviously I would accept it, because I think the thing is with now is that this virus is going through everyone, and there was no way we could continue the football. There was no way we could continue the European action as well. And yes, they've made a step to give the season another chance on the 4th of April, but is that highly likely? Probably not. I mean, look, I think the next steps we have to take is obviously we need to see where the season goes from here. I would also think that if they were to make a decision on the season, then I actually think that they would be very, very interested to see how they would do it. But I don't know is the honest answer. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, you can't really give out trophies early in the season. I mean, you look at the Championship. You've got West Brom and Leeds going for the Championship title. They're going for promotion as well. So do they now go for a 22 league? Obviously have no relegation. I don't think they will do that. I think they'll probably wait until this virus goes away, and if it obviously does go away in obviously May or June, then probably continue the season then. I think the Euros are going to be cancelled, and I think they'll be cancelled for another year at least, so it'll be Euro 2021 and not Euro 2020. So that's another thing you would have to say. Possible outcome, I actually think that the league will probably be I would want it to be continued, but I wouldn't be too concerned if it was cancelled. And then obviously scrapped, null and void, as Karen Brady said the other day. But obviously West Ham are going through. Excuse me, they're battling relegation, so you can understand what she was going through, what she was saying there. But yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. So I think the next steps to take are definitely see how this virus goes. I would also say that if the season was to be played again, then we'll wait and see. The other thing I would also say is we shall see what happens, but I'm not holding out much breath, to be honest, for the title being given to Liverpool, because I think it would be very, very unfair. Because mathematically we've not won it yet, and you can't give titles out too early in the season. So I think they might actually do that. But yeah, I would also say maybe if we were to start over again, then no transfers, I would say, because I think if you've got the same teams, then I think it would make it very, very interesting, and it'd be very, very interesting to see. I think if they don't do the relegation, then it'd be very, very interesting as well. But yeah, I mean, obviously down in Scotland, there is talk that they are going to cancel the football season there, and apparently Hearts, who are bottom of the league at the moment, they are probably going to be getting legal action. So in my opinion, I think the Premier League should look at that. I think they should also look at the fact that the National League is still going on, which I don't believe for 1 minute. So yeah, so that is my side of things. I hope everyone is managing to cope throughout this football break. It has been very, very difficult. I've been actually playing a lot of FIFA recently, so hope that's good for you, Sophie, and thanks for having me on your channel, and come and subscribe to me on the Dugout Football channel. It'd be absolutely fantastic to have more subscribers, and yeah, hopefully the season is back up and running very, very soon. But I'm not holding my breath, but stay safe, everyone, and yeah, we shall see what happens. But yeah, it is a very, very hard time of things as football goes, and as I said at the start of this, the safety of everyone is paramount. Staff, referees, players, everyone involved with football, their safety is paramount. So yeah, so stay safe, everyone, and we shall see what happens if the season does get back up and running. But I hope that's good for you, Sophie, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers. Bye bye, everyone.
So there you have it, guys. A lot of different fans giving their opinion. A really interesting debate, this one. A massive decision for the league, obviously, to think about and the next steps that they're going to take. I would not like to be the person making that decision, but obviously health comes first. Make sure you look after your loved ones. It's scary times that we are in. We need to stick together, and I fully stand by that. And obviously a lot more content will be coming from me over the next few weeks, because a lot of people are going to be stuck quarantined. At the moment, I'm still working. I work in a school, and I understand the logistics behind that. However, it's obviously quite worrying. But yeah, you got to stay by your loved ones, look after them, look out for the vulnerable as well. If there's any vulnerable people, old people who need any support, obviously feel free to drop a message. I'm here to help, and I'll do whatever I can. But yeah, thank you to all the special guests on the video as well. Couldn't work without you. I really appreciate it. And yeah, all the best. Look after the loved ones. Take care.